We need to discuss something that Trump, how many segments have I started by saying this? Posted. Something Trump posted is extremely dangerous. And indeed, this is yet another example. So we'll look at this. I'll show you a different post that Trump sort of recently sent out that it reminded me of, and then we'll look at Liz Cheney just dunking on Trump because she responded to this with a really good clap back. And here, Trump likes to retruth, it's called. It's like retweeting, but for Truth Social. Things that other people are saying. And then he gets confronted about it, and he goes, I'm just retruthing stuff. What are you talking about? But he posted something that someone else had created, a graphic, that says, Elizabeth Lynn Cheney is guilty of treason. Retruth if you want televised military tribunals. Try her for treason if you want military tribunals of her on television. And as Midas Touch points out, Donald Trump reposted an image calling Liz Cheney guilty of treason and for her to be prosecuted in televised military tribunals. And this time it's not just, I saw something pro me, so I retruthed it. It says, retruth if you want this. And he says, I want to be one of those people showing my support for this. Now, in the MAGA community, you always have this phrase. We've looked at the clip of Marjorie saying this constantly. Blah, blah, blah is guilty of treason. They say different people. Fill in the blank is guilty of treason. And the punishment for treason is death. That's what they say very often. So that word is just a few inches away from a call for death, truly. And I'm not just jumping to that. We've looked at those moments of them making that connection over and over. Again, it's been said about Pelosi out of Marjorie Taylor Greene's mouth and so many other people. And again, this gets to what a second Trump term, not just what it would look like, but what excites a lot of people within MAGA about a second term. And here's something Trump posted as well that we covered before. It's Joe Scarborough at the airport getting into a car and a Trump supporter harassing him.
I can't wait for Uncle Donnie to win. I can't wait. He'll get rid of all you liberals. Your liberals are gone when he wins. You blowjob liberals are done. Uncle Donnie's gonna take this election landslide, cuz. Landslide, you half a blowjob can't landslide. Get out of here, you scumbag.
So again, I say, people are heckled. People are harassed like that, accosted, whatever. That happens. What's so notable, as once again my earpiece is just causing me severe pain in my left ear, it's that in the first clip, they salivate over the idea of Liz Cheney, a former Republican, we'll just say being tried for treason, but again, you know what they're referencing. And then, in this clip, going up to a media personality and saying, you're going to be gone if Trump gets into office again. Can't wait for him to get into power again because he's going to go after you. You're going to be gone. And Trump reposts. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So what is so exciting? Is it uplifting the American people? No. It's pushing down people that they hate. And Liz Cheney responded to this post about her saying, Donald, this is the type of thing that demonstrates yet again that you are not a stable adult and are not fit for office. And that's absolutely correct. But it really is frightening. What do they think that she should be tried for treason for? They'd have statements. The January 6th Select Committee destroying evidence, which didn't happen, as Adam Kinzinger said when he was asked about that. It's on the internet. They published all this information that they had found. So it can't be destroyed at this point. And it's just a lie. But it's really because she wasn't loyal to Trump. That's why Trump supporters are thinking she's guilty of treason. And that's the frightening part of this movement. If you appreciate watching this show and you're not already subscribed, please click that subscribe button. Easy, free, but it makes a huge difference. Back to the video. And to brighten our spirits, let's look at some highlights from Liz Cheney. What has made her such an antagonist in the Trump movement, where even as a really conservative Republican, she's been willing to speak out aggressively against Trump as follows.
The problem is not just Donald Trump. The problem is people who deny election outcomes. We've just had, in the last few days, I think, in Arizona, Kari Lake has announced she's running for Senate. Now, we cannot elect people who have said to us they're only going to honor the outcome of an election if they agree with the outcome of the election. That's the end of democracy. And we have to be willing to stand against the threats, because there is a concerted effort underway to stop good people from being poll watchers, to stop good and honest and honorable people from running for school board, from running for local office, from running for federal and state office. And that has not, this is unprecedented in the United States of America. And it is a clear and concerted effort, and we have to stand against it.
Yeah. You know, one thing that really frightens me is, this phrase is sort of overused, but it really was a crossing of the Rubicon when Trump decided he was going to create so prominently a movement around election denying. And we talked about the schemes that then justified, which I define as the most consequential things that happen, because then it becomes not just rhetoric, but fraudulent slates of electors being assembled. But when those fail, then you think, okay, well, we got past that. But for so long, even if Trump loses and then becomes politically irrelevant, MAGA's been taught, and that movement's still going to exist in some form or another. And they've been taught that it can be a viable political strategy, at least for a period of time, to say, as Liz Cheney articulated it, that elections are only fair if you win, essentially. Or if you define them as such, regardless of the evidence. And that's just not how democracy works. I mentioned in a past segment that one necessity for democracy to function is, and really the glue that holds it together, is the common belief, the universal belief in our democratic institutions. Once people don't believe in them, they then don't have any dedication to them, and things fall apart very quickly. And so we've seen bad stuff because of the election lies, but it could just be the beginning if we don't really call out the danger of it and make so toxic any association with these sorts of election lies that it's forced out of our political conversation. Here's more.
What we've done in our politics is create a situation where we're electing idiots. And so I don't look at it through the lens of, like, you know, is this what I should do or what I shouldn't do? I look at it through the lens of, how do we elect serious people? And I think electing serious people can't be partisan.
Fair enough. And, you know, I was at dinner with someone last night who defined themselves as not super avidly into politics, but was saying, you know, I see all these clips of just ridiculous people in Congress being ridiculous, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, or of Trump being insane, or some people saying they're unhappy that our two options are Trump and Biden. And my answer to those people is, get involved. That can't be, even though I sympathize with the urge, that can't be your justification for, or your motivation to detach and to stay out of the system because of elements of it that are broken. Instead, you have to engage with the system, vote, encourage others to pay attention, keep up with these things, hold accountable your elected officials, participate in primaries, not just general elections. Maybe donate here and there, do some grassroots organizing, do some canvassing, right? If you get involved, you then have so much more power in changing the elements of the system that you perceive to be broken than if you sit on the sidelines. The more people who are rational, who say, this is crazy, I'm out, that every one of those people just gave more power to the irrational people who participate. And so when she says we're electing idiots, I think sometimes that makes people go, politics is so stupid. No. Politics is the epicenter of power. And that means that we don't want to cede that power and that ability to help people's lives or hurt people's lives to the crazies who make it annoying to participate. It's even more a reason, the prominence of someone like MTG. That's a better reason. That should be a motivator for us to get involved and push her to the fringes rather than letting her be the center of a party's sort of political infrastructure. Here's more.
You know, there was a moment right after January 6th where I was having dinner with my husband and our two youngest kids, who happened to be our sons. And I looked at my sons across the dinner table, and I had this realization, you know, I grew up in a country where I didn't have to wonder if we were going to have a peaceful transfer of power in the United States. And all of a sudden it occurred to me, my God, maybe they won't be able to say the same thing. And that is why it's so fundamentally important that we ensure, Democrats, independents, Republicans, that we work together, we vote together, we make clear that Donald Trump is not an acceptable alternative. He is not the lesser of two evils. He is a completely unfit man for office. He's already shown us what he would do, and he can never be near the Oval Office again.
It sounds...
That makes me so mad. It's a great point, but how dare MAGA and Donald Trump take away from people the peace of mind that we've had for hundreds of years? With all of the flaws of our system for hundreds of years, we've had the peace of mind that however this election goes, once the outcome is determined, the legitimate lawful outcome, the person who won is going to take over, and the person who is currently in power is going to facilitate a smooth, seamless transition of power. And that's been taken away from us, where we have dread about what's going to happen if Biden wins, which is the good scenario in my mind, but we don't know what Republicans are going to try to pull, what Trump's going to say, what violence is going to be provoked. And that is horrific. That sort of dread and pain is induced to people who didn't ask for it, who should be able to rely on the functioning of their democracy. And Trump and the movement that's around him, because of their petty feelings, because they can't accept results like a bunch of adult people can, even when it doesn't go your way, they've taken away that peace of mind. And that is really unfortunate.
If it came down to Biden v. Trump, would you vote for Biden?
I'm not going to endorse anybody today. And I think that, again, we don't know exactly what the choice will be. I would say that I will never vote for Donald Trump, and that, there are some conservatives who are trying to make this claim that somehow Biden is a bigger risk than Trump. My view is, I disagree with a lot of Joe Biden's policies.
Yeah.
We can survive bad policies.
He's not crazy.
We cannot survive torching the Constitution.
That's right.
It's not even the same level of...
Yeah, so I guess Liz Cheney, back when that clip happened, was wanting to wait until the nominations were formalized. But please come out and endorse soon, Liz Cheney. I don't understand her unwillingness to say, yes, if it's Biden, Trump, Biden. She'll do this sort of Biden, we can survive, Trump, we can't, but will I vote? I'm not going to say. Just say you're going to vote for Biden if Biden's the guy and Biden's going to be the guy, so vote for him. Because it makes a difference. I talk to people who, if they went and voted, I know they'd vote for Biden, but are sort of, all the options are, and probably won't. They will now because I came into the life, but they probably wouldn't if that weren't the case. So every person counts. Every person matters, like Liz Cheney saying, please, to my fellow Republicans, even if you don't like Biden's policies, now's the time to vote for democracy. Let me know what you thought of that in the comments. If you want to get the extra episode of the show daily and support the work that we're doing, you can do so by clicking the join button below.